De la with, not loudly, not in my face, but in that quiet, polite, almost sympathetic way that said, "Good luck, you're gonna need it." I saw it in their eyes. He's not ready. She's not talented enough. They don't have what it takes. And for a long time, I believed them. I believed the grades that said average, the bank account that said not enough, the silence from people I thought would support me. I thought belief came from the outside, from applause, from approval, from someone saying, "You've got this." But nobody said it. Nobody believed in me. And that was my advantage, because when no one expects you to win, you stop performing for the crowd. You stop chasing validation. You stop explaining your dreams to people committed to misunderstanding them. You get quiet. And in that quiet, you get to work. I remember sitting on the edge of my bed one night, lights off, phone in my hand, scrolling through everyone else's highlight reel promotions, engagements, new houses, big moves, smiling faces, and there I was, tired, behind, questioning everything. I whispered to myself, maybe they're right. Maybe I don't have it. Maybe this is as good as it gets. That thought hurt more than failure ever could. Because failure means you tried. That thought meant I was about to quit on myself before life even gave me a fair fight. But something inside me refused to die. It wasn't loud. It wasn't confident. It didn't sound like a movie speech. It was a whisper. Try one more time. So I did, not weak-hype, not with motivation blasting in my headphones, but with quiet, stubborn effort. He woke up early, not because I felt inspired, but because I was tired of feeling disappointed. Primero orchid latte. Not because it was glamorous, but because I was done making excuses. I said no to distractions, not because I had insane discipline, but because I finally understood what it was costing me to stay the same. And here's the truth, nobody tells you. When you start building in silence, it feels lonely. It feels invisible. It feels like you're moving and nothing. It's a moving bike. No likes, no praise, no one checking in. Just you and the work. There were days I doubted every step. Days I stared at my progress and saw nothing but how far I still had to go. Days I almost turned back because comfort was calling my name like an old friend. But then I remembered how it felt to be underestimated, how it felt when people changed the subject when I talked about my goals, how it felt when opportunities passed me by because someone else seemed more ready, how it felt to be the one nobody picked. That pain became fuel. Not anger at them, but responsibility for me. I stopped saying, "They don't believe in me," and started asking, "Do I believe in me enough to keep going when nobody's watching?" That question changed everything. Because belief isn't loud. Belief isn't a quote on a wall. Belief is showing up on the days you feel like you're wasting your time. Belief is working on your craft after a 10-hour shift. Belief is studying when your brain is tired. Belief is choosing growth over comfort when nobody would blame you for quitting. There were nights I fell asleep doubting myself, and mornings I woke up doing the work anyway. That's when I realized something powerful. You don't need confidence to start. You need commitment. Confidence comes later, after the reps, after the failures, after you keep promises to yourself so many times that your mind finally says, "Okay, maybe we are that person." Slowly, things started to shift. Not overnight, not dramatically, but subtly. My skills sharpened. My focus deepened. My excuses got weaker. I stopped talking about what I was going to do and started becoming someone who just does it. And the funny thing is, the same people who didn't believe in me, they didn't notice at first. Because real growth doesn't announce itself. It builds in the background, in the dark, like roots before a tree ever breaks the surface. By the time they saw the results, the work had already been done. But let me be honest with you, the journey wasn't heroic. It was messy. I failed publicly. I embarrassed myself. I put my heart into things that didn't work. I had to face the voice in my head that said, "See, this is why you shouldn't try." That voice is dangerous because it sounds like logic. It sounds like protection, but it's just fear wearing a suit. Every time I fell, I had a choice. Turn the failure into a verdict, or turn it into a lesson. Every setback taught me something. Success never could have. How to adjust. O to injury. How to keep going without applause. I stopped seeing rejection as proof I wasn't good enough and started seeing it as redirection to something better aligned. With every obstacle, I got stronger in ways no one could see. My patience grew. My discipline hardened. My emotional resilience deepened. I wasn't just building a future, I was building a person who could handle that future, because success without strength is fragile, and the world will test you the moment you level up. Those lonely nights, they were training. Those moments of doubt, they were mental conditioning. Those days, nobody clapped. They were building a work ethic that didn't depend on praise. Then one day, the results started to show. Not flashy, not overnight fame, but undeniable progress. Doors opened that used to be locked. Opportunities came from places I never expected. People started asking, "How did you do it?" And I wanted to tell them about the nights I almost quit, the mornings I showed up exhausted, the tears nobody saw, the battles nobody clapped for, because that's the part that matters. Anybody can celebrate the win. Few are willing to endure the becoming. And here's what I learned at the end of all of it. When nobody believes in you, you're free. Free from expectations, free from pressure to impress, free to fail. Learn and grow without an audience judging every step. Doubt from others can feel like a weight, but if you carry it right, it becomes resistance, and resistance builds strength. You stop chasing approval and start chasing progress. You stop asking, "Do they see me?" and start asking, "Am I becoming who I said I would be?" That shift is everything, because when you build for purpose instead of praise, your foundation gets deeper. And deep foundations don't crack under pressure. So if you're in that place right now, feeling unseen, underestimated, like you're giving everything and getting nothing back, good, stay there a little longer. Not in self-pity. In preparation, let the silence sharpen you. Let the doubt discipline you. Let the loneliness teach you how strong you really are. Because one day, the same world that overlooked you will be introduced to a version of you they never saw coming. Not because you got lucky. Not because someone saved you, but because when nobody believed in you, you decided to believe in yourself quietly, consistently, relentlessly. When the moment finally comes, when the doors open, when the lights turn on, when people start saying, "Wow, you change," you'll know the truth. You didn't change overnight. You built yourself in the dark. So let them doubt. Let them misunderstand. Let them sleep on you. Use Italiano. Use every ignored message, every rejection, email, every maybe later, every person who didn't take you seriously. Turn it into fuel. Because at the end of the day, their belief was never the key. Your work was, your discipline was, your refusal to quit when it would have been easy. That was the key. And when your results finally speak, they won't whisper. They'll echo, and you'll stand there, not angry, not bitter, just proud that you didn't need the world to clap to become unstoppable.